feel like I've remade this video like 500 times. I'm not even joking. Oh my gosh. Because I keep leaving out information and then, yeah. So, as you can see by the title of my video, I'm going to be talking about the breeding versus rescuing aspect of like purchasing a puppy, right? Or a dog. Because most rescues are not, puppies. But so there's pros and cons to both, and I feel like there's a lot of misinformation out there when it comes to both of them, and a lot has to do with it because of, and I hate to say it, I'm not trying to sound like it's a bad thing, but a lot of the misinformation has come from this like era of like adopt, don't shop, right? Which is absolutely false. I think that if you have the right information, you have the right tools, and you're using the right people, purchasing a puppy can be an amazing thing that you do, because you can insure certain things. You can insure what breed of dog you're getting. And for people like, well, a breed shouldn't matter. It does absolutely 100% matter, because you get a lot of people who get a puppy or a dog of a breed that they're not familiar with, meaning they end up with a Belgian Malinois, a German Shepherd, Huskies, cute dogs that are popular, dogs that people think they can handle, and then you put them with an inexperienced person who doesn't know what they're doing, doesn't know that some of these breeds require a lot of exercise, a lot of training, a lot of work. These are working dogs. They are used to having a job. That is what we have bred them to do. As people, we've taken animals like horses, cats, dogs, whatever, and we've bred them for a purpose, whether it be for their looks, whether it be for companionship, like the Pekingese, whether it be for hunting purposes, whether it be for guarding. Whatever the reason that we bred these dogs for, we bred them for a purpose. In order for that purpose, to be fulfilled, to be met, we took a breed of dog, right? We started off with a dog quality. Like herding breeds. They have a very high nipping, high energy, need to get that, need to make sure it listens to me, dog, and you bred it with another dog that had those qualities and those traits that you needed and wanted out of the breed, and then you try to take that dog and put it in the confinement of someone in an apartment, never take it out, never exercise it, never give it proper training, never give it proper socialization, and then you have a problematic dog, you have a problematic issue, and this is where you start to, like, those issues arise and whatnot. So that's kind of like the agenda I'm getting behind. Why breed is important. It's important because you need to know what you're getting yourself into. Educate yourself. A great resource that I love that shows you puppy training classes that you can go to. You can take your dog to agility training courses. You can take them to agility events. They don't have to be part of the AKC to do that, but the AKC website provides all that information. They give you great tools for grooming, great tools for where you can get really good puppies from reputable breeders. They give you great tools like that. And they just have a lot of information about dogs. You want to know something about a breed, you want to know the genetic disorders that come with that breed, you want to know certain things these are things that you want to learn about. You want to know the pros and cons to those breeds. I mean, that's a great resource right there. That being said, do your research on the dog breed that you're getting, right? That's a huge one. So another thing is like the pro to getting a bred dog is you know what breed it is, right? That's important. I just said why. A lot of these breeders follow a certain guideline if they're doing it the right way. Not everybody does it the right way, but that's gonna go to like the cons. So if they do it the right way, a lot of these breeders provide you with a health guarantee. Some of them microchip, some of them don't, just depends. Sometimes you can end up with a puppy that, well, you have parents, a lot of these breeders do genetic testing, which is important. It's something that you should be doing if you have a breed that's prone to a certain disorder and you want to make sure that their parents are not carriers, because a carrier and a carrier are going to give you an issue. You're going to have puppies with a problem. So you want to make sure they're getting genetic testing. A lot of these breeders provide that. A lot of these breeders provide you a resource. So if you feel the need, you can't handle the puppy anymore or adult dog, it's their dog that they bred, and you want to get rid of it, and you just know you can't give it a home anymore, a lot of these breeders have like a return policy, not to where you can get your money back. Don't try to scam these people, but a return policy that if you don't have anybody, if you really need to give the dog up, they will take their dog back and find it a good home. That way you don't have to take the chance of leaving it at a shelter. A lot of them have it in a contract. Another thing is, a lot of them have contracts that you have to sign that make sure that you're certain things that you're going to abide by, like spay and neuter. Many of them require you spay and neuter the dog at the appropriate age, because they want to make sure that you're not doing anything to make them look bad, and that the puppies are being bred, the puppies that hold the qualities that the breed is looking for, the healthy qualities, the great personality qualities, traits that breed is being characterized as. You don't want to breed something outside of that breed, because this is where you get problematic issues. A huge dog that had this problem was golden retrievers. They blew up in a certain time, and then people were trying to just breed these dogs to get them out there. They wanted to make a buck off of them, which they did. And what happened is they bred aggression issues into some of these golden retrievers. They're notorious for being great family dogs, notorious for being great listeners, easily trained, and all these things. And then you take somebody who just wants to make a buck, and this is where the cons come in. And now you have dogs that are aggressive because you bred this aggressive tendency into them, right? And then you take somebody who does not really know a lot about the breed or things that they have to do or how to socialize a dog, and then you put them you just put them in a bad environment. Problematic dogs are not the problem, really. It's usually a mixture of poor breeding, poor training, and poor ownership. And it's just a combination of a lot of these things create problematic dogs. And that's what happens. I mean, it's really sad, but it does happen. You do have people just wanting to make a buck. This is why it's good to find reputable breeders, do your research, make sure these people are doing the right thing, look them up, make sure they don't have any animal rights cases on them. I mean, you gotta really look in. It's like you're getting a child, You don't want to put money into something to end up with a bunch of issues, and vice versa. All these problems, you want to make sure you're fully prepared. And as the owner, you have to be fully prepared for everything. You have to be prepared to train the dog, you have to be prepared for all that comes with it. So there are a lot of pros to purchasing a puppy from a reputable breeder, but there are a lot of cons too, because if you don't do the right thing, if you're just trying to get a cheap puppy, you're going to end up, you get with what you pay for. So if you end up with some people are a little on the excessive side with the purchasing of a puppy. I completely understand. There are breeders that just like $2,000 for this dog, and it's not, for me, I feel like it's like, oh, okay, well, what are you getting out of it, So just make sure you get it from the right person. I understand that they can be a little more pricey, but if you're just trying to get like, oh, I just want to pay $300, but I want top of the line, these breeders are putting a lot into their dogs. They're making sure they're breeding great quality puppies for you. That's a lot of money. It's not easy. It's not something that just is like, oh, easy peasy, put two dogs together and that's it. No, they're taking them to the vet, making sure they have no health issues, making sure they're getting genetic testing done, meaning they're sending these to laboratories. They're taking all the time to make sure everything is being met. The puppies are being properly socialized with mom. The puppies don't leave at a certain age. That's a huge one. Can't tell you how many puppies people are like, oh, I got my puppy at 6 weeks. What? Why are you getting a puppy that hasn't even barely been able to learn how to be a puppy? Moms, siblings, they play a vital role. People cannot teach a dog how to be a dog. Mom does that. This is why you have like these codependent dogs who have horrible social skills with other dogs and all these things, and it's because you took them away from mom before they could learn Nipping is bad. It hurts. Stop. Before they can learn, back up, get out of my face. Mom can communicate that with them. And it's important that you get a breeder that's doing the right thing. This is where doing the right thing is huge for me, because then you can end up with a dog with these problematic issues, poor breeding. I mean, it's just like a ongoing cycle of just like an avalanche effect. It just comes trickling down, and now you got a really big problem and a lot more things you got to put into the dog in order to get it on the right track. That being said, let's get into rescuing. I have rescue dogs and I have a purchase dog. Rescuing a dog is a very commendable thing. It takes a lot, because I feel like sometimes you don't know. Sometimes you're lucky and you know the breed. I was fortunate about one of my dogs. I knew exactly what he was, because it was an owner who surrendered. She surrendered her whole litter of puppies because her dog accidentally got pregnant. The neighbor's dog broke into her yard while her dog was in heat. They locked, and that was that. So she knew exactly what the dog was. So that being said, I kind of knew what to look for. He is a really smart breed. He's a border collie mix. So he has great qualities, very attentive, very intelligent, just easily trainable. Not something that was really problematic training him or anything like that. Not much of a chewer. I mean, he's just a great overall dog. Then you get into, the downside to rescuing is a lot of times they mislabel these dogs. They'll put either a really desirable breed that everybody's looking for, and it makes people be like, I want that dog, and it's not necessarily what that dog is. And then you have mislabeling where they looks like a specific breed. It doesn't even look like what it is. A lot of dogs get labeled as pit bull mixes, and some of them, I look at them. There's this one dog I saw one time that looked like a lab mix. He didn't even look like a pit bull. Had not like a very skinny lab face, and someone who put on his card pit bull mix. And I'm like, that's unfortunate, because then you're taking a dog and kind of, there's a bad stigma on pit bulls. There really is. I have a pit bull. He's a mix, because I don't know what he is, like I said, but he has a lot of pit bull qualities. He looks a lot like a pit bull. But anyways, I call him my pit bull because that's what he looks like. And then you take, but they have a bad name. A lot of people just assume he's an aggressive dog, and he's really not. And then you take that name, that label, and you put it on a dog that's really not that. And then you have a lot of people that maybe shy, steer clear of these dogs because people are mislabeling them. So this is where the rescuing is kind of hard. There are pure breed rescues out there, but like I said, you don't know where these dogs have come from. You don't know if it's a good breeder or a bad breeder. You don't know what issues, what imprints the previous owners have had on them. That's the downside to rescuing. The upside to rescuing is that they come with everything. You get the microchips, spayed and neutered, they're updated on all their shots. You still have to continue to get their shots though, and they have a lot of, all this stuff is taken care of, and then you don't have to put money into to get the microchip. You don't have to put money into them to get the spayed and neutered. That's taken care of. So, and I think that's really awesome. Some of these rescues try their best to socialize these dogs. They take care of whatever health issues that they had at that time. They take care of them. So you kind of know, you get, some of these dogs are older, so the downside to older dogs, you don't know, the life that they lived before that. But the plus side to getting an older dog is a lot of times they're already potty trained. You don't even got to worry about it. My pit bull came in and he didn't use the bathroom in the house. He was a great dog. He was a chewer though. He loved to chew everything. He chew a big hole through my drywall, giant size, like washer size hole through my drywall, and right to the concrete. But I had to fix it to pay, because it was his anxiety. He wasn't used to being in the house alone. It was a new environment, and now he doesn't chew. He doesn't chew on the baseboards anymore. I mean, he was just anxious. It was a new environment, something different, and that's what you have to be patient. You have to give these dogs some time to acclimate and get used to their environment. And I feel like no matter which avenue you do, it's your job as an owner to educate yourself. It's your job as an owner to make sure that you're getting the right dog for you, the right dog for your family. Like I said, you get these working dogs and you try to put them in a home and you don't do anything with them, like exercise and socialize, and now this is where problem issues start to arise, because you didn't do your end as an owner to socialize these dogs, especially puppies. That's the most impressionable time in their lives. Other than breeding qualities of personality, you need to also socialize them. Those are important skills that they need to develop. You need to show them things so they're not afraid. You need to introduce them to dogs. You need to make sure they're not food aggressive, because this is issues that you could have prevented, that you've caused because of your failure to do the right thing. I think that there are pros and cons to all of it. I don't think that you should limit yourself. I think that you should do everything in your power to make sure you get the right dog for you, whether it be rescue or purchasing. So I think that's important. Breed is super important because you have to know what comes with it. There are breed related illnesses. Some dogs are more prone to certain disorders and disabilities and illnesses because of their breed, and that's important to know. You know, we selectively bred these dogs for certain things, and in doing so, we've also made their gene pool a lot smaller, meaning if you get a pure breed dog, there's a lot less to choose from with good genes and bad genes, meaning there's a lot higher chance you're going to pull a bad gene versus a mixed breed dog where they have a lot larger, you know, gene pool where you're kind of playing with, so they have a lot more qualities that they can pull from. So that's another thing that to understand and to consider. But I just think that you need to do the right thing as an owner. Make sure you're doing your job. Make sure you're doing your research. It's really all about putting forth the effort into making sure you're knowledgeable on the breed, making sure you're knowledgeable on the kind of dog you want, because if you have like a very sedentary lifestyle, you don't want to get a dog that requires you being out and about and jumping around, and maybe they'll help you get out of bed. But if you are just adamant, I don't want to go on a run, then maybe a German Shepherd or Doberman active dog, maybe it's not for you. Not to say all those breeds require you to be out 10 hours a day or anything like that, but some of these dogs, Huskies, they need activity. They're working dogs. They're used for a job. They have this drive. They need to get out. This is why you see a lot of these videos. The Zoomies, Huskies are notorious for it, because they got all that pent-up energy, and then sometimes that pent-up energy turns into like other things, like destroying the house, urinating in the house. You know, just do your job. Do everything that you gotta do, and then do all your research. Learn about the breed. Learn about quirks. Learn about how to train it. You know, what is it gonna take me to get this dog? What am I gonna have to look out for? I think that's your job, regardless of what you do, regardless if you adopt, regardless if you go ahead and you know, purchase a dog. Just do everything you got to do to make sure you're ready for the dog, because it's not the breed, it's the person. You've created a problem. And this includes everybody in the issue. Who bred the dog? You might have not done everything that you needed to do. You might have exposed the puppies to something. You might have taken the puppies away too early. And this goes to people that are rescuing. If you're rescuing, it doesn't mean that they have everything that they need. You still gotta train them. You still gotta acclimate them to household life. You still gotta, you gotta do your end as the owner. And if you're purchasing a puppy, okay, so the breeder did everything right on their end. What's the things that you have to do? You gotta train your dog. You gotta get your dog on the right track. You gotta do all these things. I mean, it's your job to socialize your dog. It's your job to make sure your dog has an appropriate diet. It's your job to take your dog to the vet and get them everything that they need to get. Don't just dismiss their, you know, certain things because you're like, well, I can't afford it. Well, these are the costs that go into it. It's like a baby. You would not bring your kid to the doctor. So just do everything that you have to do. I'm gonna leave some links below. It's gonna be like the AKC link, so you can kind of see and browse a little bit, maybe just learn like dog care, and you can look, it will literally tell you, like, if you go to certain breeds, like, you want to know, even if you have a dog and you want to know what illnesses they could be prone to. I also think if you do have a rescue and you want to find out certain things about it, Embark, they do like a health thing. You can find out the breed of the dog, and then you can also find out like health and genetic stuff about the dog. So that's a really good investment, especially if you don't know much about your dog. I think that's a really great investment, honestly. But you know, thank you so much for watching my video. I just wanted to drop this information because I see it all the time, the battle. And it's not a battle, honestly. Any dog needs a home. Every dog needs love. Just pick the right dog for you and your family, and do what you need to do, and everything will usually take care of itself. But thank you so much. Subscribe to my channel. I have some exciting stuff happening this weekend. It's my son's birthday, turning 3. So you know, subscribe, watch my channel, and there's more to come, y'all. Thank you so much for being a part of my YouTube journey. And if you support me and support everything, just go ahead and hit that subscribe button, especially if you're coming back to watch. Just hit that subscribe button, and thank you guys. You are amazing.